Helldivers 2 had its first balance patch today, and the community is kind of torn whether it was a good thing or not. I want to discuss a little bit about this, but some of the big changes were the breaker, railgun, and shield generators getting nerfed. Now, these were kind of considered the meta, and if you didn't have these, it was even reported that people were getting kicked from lobbies for not having them. So, I mean, that's pretty toxic at that level, but it just means that they were really great items. Now, there's been a lot of discussion around player versus environment or PvE style games, and if it's okay to nerf things in it. But it's obviously a bit more complex than that in Helldivers 2, so I just want to talk about it, and I'll even show the patch notes here. This is on Steam, so the fresh patch notes. So there's now planetary hazards, so there can be like meteor storms and things like that, which I think is a really cool addition to the game. Just first off there, it makes things a little bit more difficult. Many plants will now have additional environmental changes that will appear at random while you're deployed, from fire tornadoes, meteor showers, and many more. So, hey, that's always cool. The game's pretty chaotic, and anything else to add to that is more than fine, in my opinion. I think that's kind of fun. Balancing eradicate missions now require more kills, and enemies spawn more often. The time to complete the mission was previously shorter than intended and should now take twice as long to complete. So that's something to note. I found that some of them were really quick and easy to finish, so that's good. But here's the primary, secondary, and support weapon changes. So the breaker decreased magazine capacity from 16 to 13 and recoil from 30 to 55. So this was just something you could spam really quickly and get a lot of damage off, but they're dropping the magazine capacity, which makes things a little bit trickier, less firepower, obviously not making it optimal. But the big change is the railgun, which is one of the most reliable for taking out medium to heavy armor, and what they're doing to it is decreased armor penetration in safe mode. So you can put it to a safe or unsafe mode. Decreased damage against durable enemy parts. So that kind of sucks, just dropping its overall damage, because it was one of the more reliable ones. It has a longer reload time, but it's still a really great weapon to use. But they also buffed the flamethrower, increased the damage per second by 50%, so that's actually quite a huge nerf. The flamethrower is fun to use. I haven't unlocked it myself, but I've picked it up in some levels, and it's just a lot of fun torching the bugs. So increasing the damage is pretty nice for that. Laser cannon, increased damage against durable parts, increased armor penetration, and improved ergonomics, which just means handling. I don't know why they're using that word there, but that's nice to see. The laser cannon was kind of the lesser chosen option to the railgun. The Punisher increased total ammo from 40 to 60, increased stagger force, increased damage from 40 to 45. So it's a pretty nice increase to the Punisher. I'd like to see that. The Breaker spray and pray, increased armor penetration, increased fire rate from 300 to 330, increased armor pellets from 12 to 16 per shot, but decreased the magazine size from 32 to 26. So I think that some of these are fine. I like seeing some of the weaker options getting buffs. That's, I think, what's important for a PvE style game, especially a difficult one like Helldivers 2. Stratagems, there are some buffs and changes to this one. So the energy shield backpack has an increased delay before recharging, so that just makes us more likely to get hurt. But it's really easy to get hurt in this game. The 380mm and 120mm orbital barrages increase the duration of bombardment and decrease spread. So I guess we'll see how that one kind of plays out. It sounds like it's a kind of net positive, even though the spread's a little bit lesser. It means less team kills, so that's always good, because I get blown up by a lot of randoms all the time, so that's nice to see. Changed a lot of fixes, so fixed armor's rating values, not reducing damage as intended. That was a huge one the community was talking about for a while, so that's good that the armors are now going to be corrected on that. Fixed certain bug holes that were unnecessarily hard to destroy. I've seen this a couple times, not really a big deal. You just call in more explosives, it's kind of fun, but that's good that that's fixed. Anti-aliasing, I can't even pronounce that, toggle not work on PS5, that's good. Overall, just fixing a lot of these little a lot of little issues with the game, but the armor rating values is really powerful of a change, because if you're using heavy armor, it wasn't protecting like heavy armor should, so we should see a bit more survivability. So that might end up making the energy shield backpack nerf not as bad, because we're now getting proper armor values. Although if you're using a lighter armor, that might affect you negatively. People have been kind of misunderstanding how the armor values are working and how it was bugged, but I guess we'll see with playtime. But there's still some more issues. Game may crash for dropping several high-power stratagems in succession. That's kind of sad. Picking up items from caches may cause characters to freeze in place, and a whole bunch of other ones. I was playing yesterday with a friend, and we were in a group of 4, and we were actually doing a pretty challenging level, but then the servers dropped for us, so I think that was potentially related to this patch, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So feel free to comment below what you think about these changes. It's sad to see some of the best weapons getting nerfed, but it's also nice to see some of the weaker ones getting patches and improvements to their damage, and we'll see how much more changes as time goes on, but I'm excited to see. Helldivers 2 has been a whole lot of fun, so thank you so much for watching. If you found this video fun or useful, please hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next video.